Ladies and gentlemen, what is going on? Welcome back to World of Tanks News. It has been a long time since my previous news episode, but yesterday Wargaming released one really interesting article about patch 9.17. So in today's episode I'm going to let you know, guys, what is going to be happening in patch 9.17. Seems like 9.17 is going to be one huge patch once again, because we are going to get our first Swedish vehicles. Well, actually we have one Swedish tank in the game already that you're seeing on the background at the moment, but they are going to release Swedish tech tree. They are going to change the ricochet system, and also a lot of premium tanks are going to get buffed. So in today's episode I'm going to talk about all that. But guys, please keep in mind, as always, everything can change, because this information is from Supertest server, not even public test yet. So a lot of things can change that you're going to hear today, but this gives you an idea what Wargaming is thinking about doing and what they're doing already. But update 9.17 is now officially underway, and with it comes a full lineup of new features and content. 2 branches of Swedish tanks, overhauled ricochet and overmatched mechanics, a few new HD models, this time only few new HD models. Hopefully patched 25D or E5M are going to be reworked into HD models as well. Reworked minimaps, that means they are trying to make the new minimaps even more clear. We are going to take a look at some of those new minimaps and some other tidbits as well, as they said. But now let's dive into the news and let's talk about Swedish tank tree overall. So we're going to get our first 2 branches in the Swedish tech tree. We're going to get heavy tank branch and we are going to get destroyer branch. Now, while destroyer branch is filled with tank destroyers from tier 2 to tier 10, every single tank is tank destroyer. Heavy tank branch, however, is different. From tier 1 to tier 3 we are going to get light tanks. From tier 4 to tier 7 we are going to get medium tanks, and from tier 8 to tier 10 we are going to get heavy tanks. And heavy tanks are going to be called Emil, Emil 2 and Kranvagen. Kranvagen is going to be our tier 10 Swedish heavy tank. Tier 8, tier 9 and tier 10 Swedish TDs are going to be called Judas 03, Strv 103O or 0 and Strv 103B. This is going to be our tier 10 destroyer. So 2 new full branches of Swedish tanks. TDs, light tanks, medium tanks and heavy tanks. We're going to get everything, which is nice. But Wargaming said there is potential for 2 full TD branches and medium tank branches. So a lot more Swedish vehicles yet to come. And guys, now your favorite news. There is also potential for the almighty artillery branch. But I wonder what is going to be special about Swedish artilleries, because Swedish tier 8, tier 9 and tier 10 TDs are going to be super special. More about that in a second. We have a badge at the tier 10 artillery that has autoloader. That is special, right? And I wonder what is special about Swedish artilleries. Hopefully they are going to be a little bit different, because we have so many just aim and click and move artilleries already. I would like to see something different and something special, like those tier 8, tier 9 and tier 10 destroyers. Those vehicles have completely different gun handling system or mechanic. These vehicles can adjust their gun traverse and elevation by using their hull and special suspension. Your gun is not moving, your gun is completely stuck into your hull. It is not moving. The only way you're able to move your gun, up and down, left or right, you have to stop, you have to turn it. Well, actually, if you just stop, you can move your gun left to right by turning your hull, but you're not able to move your gun up and down, not at all, before you enter to the siege mode. And this is why those 3 vehicles are going to be super special. Wargaming is going to introduce a new mode called the siege mode. You have 2 different modes. Driving mode is for driving and the siege mode is for firing. To enter to the siege mode, at first you have to stop. After that you have to press a new special key, X. X is going to be the default key for entering siege mode. I am pretty sure you're able to change it as well if you do not like it for some reason. And after a few seconds you are in the siege mode. Now your gun is going to be at its full potential. Those guns, those TDs are going to have high penetration, good accuracy, high rate of fire, but low average damage, as Wargaming said. But now when you are in the siege mode, your gun and hull are fully working together. Whenever you're going to move your gun, your hull is going to adjust accordingly. You move your aim to the top left corner, for example, your hull is going to move exactly how it has to move to be able to aim into the top left corner. But Tier 8 TD is a little bit different because it has some extra freedom with its gun movement, just to get players ready for Tier 9 and Tier 10. Tier 8 TD doesn't have 100% fully fixed gun. You're able to move your gun a little bit, as far as I know and as I understood, and this is just to get players ready for Tier 9 and Tier 10, a little introduction to the siege mode, which is really welcoming to make that step a little bit softer. And one more really awesome thing about the siege mode is whenever you're using camo net and pinos, for example, and when you are in the siege mode, your camo and your pinos are always active. You can do 360 turn and still your pinos and camos are active. But with turretless TDs at the moment, whenever you're going to turn your hull, you're going to lose your camo value, you're going to lose your pinos. So this is huge advantage in my opinion. And overall, Swedish TDs, they have epic camo rating, even in Tier 10. Usually the higher your tier gets, the less camo you get, but not with Swedish tanks. Tier 10 actually has epic camo value, as Wargaming said. So guys, this is the siege mode on Tier 8, Tier 9 and Tier 10 Swedish TDs. Special thing, isn't it? To enter you have to stop, you have to press X, it is going to take some time to enter. Now how much time it is going to take, as we're going to see from this clip, in Tier 10 it is going to take roughly 2 seconds, but as far as I know, in Tier 8 and in Tier 9 it is going to take a little bit more time to enter and to exit. I don't know about you, but I'm actually really excited to see how those tanks are going to fit into the World of Tanks today, into the today's meta game, if we have any meta action in the first place in World of Tanks. But armor seems to be really trollish, so troll armor plus epic camo value, yeah, those things can be really nasty. And in the front you can see some fence action, I don't know how to call it, fence protection, grill protection, those things are over there to stop heat. No heat can penetrate that grill over there. So some extra protection from premium ammunition if enemy tank is using heat as premium ammo. And if you are going to use some special positions on some map where you only have to show your gun, oh my god, I believe this tank is going to make enemy tanks rage. So hashtag artillery is going to save the day. Yeah, anyways, we just have to wait and see how they fit into the game. In my opinion, they look really interesting, something completely different, and I think World of Tanks needs something completely different like this. But moving on, together with Swedish tanks, they're also going to change the overmatch system. They said, hot on the tracks of the arrival of Swedish tanks comes a change to how ricochets function within the overmatch mechanic. Replacing the current system will be a single, more simple mechanic that takes into account both the impact angle and the shell caliber. This will boost the combat efficiency of highly sloped tanks, including Swedish tank destroyers. Highly sloped tanks like Badget 25T. Thumbs up from me because you know how much I love my Badget. With the impact angle included into the equation, overmatch will result in more normalization and a greater ricochet angle. This pretty much means that you are going to be able to bounce high caliber shells with thin but highly sloped armor if the impact angle is large. And as we can see from the picture, even 152mm shell is not able to penetrate 50mm of armor under angle like you are seeing. So no more roof snipes on the flat ground anymore, I guess. And next topic, they are also working on buffing 6 premium tanks that we have in the game at the moment. And guys, seems like Löwe is finally going to feel some lava. They are going to buff Löwe's gun depression from 8 degrees to 10 degrees, so 10 degrees of gun depression is actually pretty sexy in my opinion. They are going to increase hull armor and turret armor, also side armor at the bottom is going to be increased to 100mm. FE4202 aka Prius is going to get speed buff, which is really welcoming, from 35 kph to 40 kph. And vehicle's profitability is going to be increased by 10%. SDA2 is also going to receive speed buff, and they are going to do that by replacing the engine. So from 45 kph to 55 kilometers per hour. Next up, M4A1 Revaloris or Ravioli or M4 whatever is going to receive 6 different buffs. They are going to increase the accuracy from 0.18 to 0.16. They are going to decrease dispersion on turret traverse to 0.13 from 0.16. Aim time is going to be reduced from 2.8 seconds to 2.4 seconds. So gun is going to be a lot better from now on. I especially like the aim time buff. Engine power is going to be increased to 550 horsepower from 486 HP, and they are doing that by replacing the engine once again. Gun depression angle increased to 10 degrees. From 7 degrees to 10 degrees, this is actually huge. Huge, like Donald Trump is going to say. So M4A1 Ravioli is going to be quite a beast after that buff, in my opinion. Yeah. But moving on, Panther 8.8 is going to receive some mobility buffs. Hull traverse speed increased to 40 degrees from 38 degrees, and engine power increased to 700 horsepower from 600 horsepower. So the acceleration is going to be better, climbing is going to be faster, mobility overall is going to be buffed. And finally, WC111 is also going to receive a lot of buffs to the gun or gun handling. Decreased dispersion on hull traverse and on the move from 0.23 to 0.2, decreased dispersion on turret traverse from 0.14 to 0.12, dispersion aka accuracy is going to be better from 0.46 to 0.44, and aiming time from 3.4 seconds to 3 seconds, so 0.4 seconds off from the aiming time. Engine power increased from 550 to 600, and they are going to increase lower plate armor and turret armor. And my final topic today, new minimaps. Another 7 minimaps are getting remastered visuals. Karelia, Pilsen, Sand River, Mountain Pass, Tundra, Windstorm and Winter Himmelsdorf are going to be reworked. So they are going to be better now, I hope at least. And guys, this was my today's World of Tanks news episode about upcoming patch 9.17. Most likely it is going to take more than 1 month for test server to be over here, but we just have to wait and see. Anyways, I'm really hyped about patch 9.17. New tanks, new interesting tanks, new requisite system, buffed premium tanks and so on, and most likely we are going to get even more stuff because this was just first article about 9.17. They are also working on audio changes, so yeah. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed today's episode. I hope it was informative. If you did enjoy, consider leaving me one like down below, and I catch you next time. Take care, bye.